So you might just start by stretching out and noticing how your body feels, and then deciding whether you want to stay in Shavasana or whether you would like to maybe go into reclined cobbler's pose with the soles of the feet together and the knees dropped open. Or maybe if the low back is a little achy, bending the knees, setting the feet out at the edges of the mat, letting the knees come together. So this is a great little passive release for the low back. Just wherever you want to be, there is tension in your neck or your shoulders, just take your arms out away from your body, turn your palms toward the ceiling, flatten your shoulder blades out onto the mat. Maybe take a few deep breaths. So our inhales are energizing. So if you feel like you need a little more energy this morning, you can take a nice deep inhale and then maybe hold at the top of the inhale. And then when you feel like you're ready to release it, just slowly let it go. You can start that inhale by letting the belly rise and then take it up into the chest. Think about filling the lungs all the way up to the collarbones. And again, just pausing at the top if that feels comfortable to you. Just holding there until you feel the urge to let go. And then each time you exhale, see if you can release tension from somewhere. The neck, the shoulders, the hips, the back. And when you're ready, you can just let the breath start to fall into a slow, steady rhythm with even inhales and exhales. In whatever position you're in right now, start to set your feet out at the edges of the mat with your knees bent, so the feet are wide. And then as you exhale, let both your knees fall to the right. Inhale back to center. And then let both your knees fall to the left. Just continue a few more times at your own pace. Like your legs are windshield wipers moving in slow motion. Coordinating your breath with your movement is actually what makes this yoga. Otherwise, it's just like any other form of exercise. The next time that your knees come up, pick up your feet and bring your knees in towards your chest. Place your hands on your knees or on your shins and move around a little, maybe rocking side to side, maybe making circles with the knees. And then taking a hold of your right leg, stretch your left leg out. Exhale as you press your left foot towards the end of your mat and draw your right leg closer. As you inhale, switch the legs. Right leg out, left leg in. Again, just continue a few more times at your own pace. Exhaling as you stretch. And inhaling as you switch. Let's do one more time on each side. And then go ahead and bring both knees in towards the chest. Extend both legs into the air. Maybe put a little bend in your knees. We're just going to gently draw the legs back and start to open up the muscles on the backs of the legs. Try to keep your tailbone down on the mat. Avoid the urge to lift your hips. And we're going to make our way up into tabletop. If you like, you can roll to one side and come up, or you can start to just rock and roll back and forth. Great way to build up some energy. Let's do one more time. And then we'll just come right up and over onto our hands and knees. On your inhale, drop your belly, open your chest, tilt your chin up. And then as you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, drop your belly to cow. Exhale as you round your spine and tuck your chin to your chest. 2 or 3 more times at your own pace. So take your time here and really explore any areas where you feel tightness. So you might pause in your cat pose and press the palms down and separate the shoulder blades. In your cat pose, you might just lean back a little bit and feel that stretch in the low back. Let's do one more cat-cow. Nice deep inhale with the cow pose, and then a nice big exhale with your cat pose. And come back to a neutral tabletop position. Go ahead and walk your hands out in front of you. And very slowly start to lower your forehead and your shoulders toward the mat and come into puppy pose. So we're opening up the shoulders here in puppy pose, but if you feel like your shoulders are just too tight, try separating your hands away from each other, and that might give you a better feeling in the shoulders. Elongate the spine and take a couple deep breaths here so that your rib cage expands. On your next inhale, come up into tabletop and then up onto your knees. Tuck your toes under so that your heels are up. On an inhale, sweep the left arm up, and as you exhale, lean back, find your right heel with your right hand, and open into a little back bend. So nothing too deep right now, just keep it easy. As you inhale, you'll come up and switch the arms, and then as you exhale, you'll lean back. And just take your time here. We're going to do 2 more times on each side. Do your best with coordinating your breath with your movement. And the next time you come up, bring your knees together and your feet together, and then untuck your toes, put the tops of the feet on the mat, bring your hips back to your heels, and then just come into child's pose, bringing your forehead down towards the mat, arms back by your sides. One more deep breath here. When you're ready, lift your head and chest and come back into tabletop. Walk your hands just about half a hand's distance from where they are right now. And then shift your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale down to the mat. Inhale to a baby cobra. And just use your back muscles to lift you up. So you should be able to lift your hands off the mat here. Exhale, release. Press up into tabletop. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale up onto your hands and knees. Shift the shoulders forward. Exhale down to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale and release. Press up onto the hands and knees. Exhale back to child's pose. One more time through that sequence. Shift forward. Exhale down to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other so that the upper part of the chest opens. Exhale down to the mat. Press up on into tabletop and then exhale your hips back to your heels. And then make your way back into tabletop. Come up into a kneeling position again. And stretch your right leg out to the side. So the foot should be in line with your left knee. Your right hand rests on top of the right leg. On your inhale, sweep the left arm up. And then as you exhale, slowly side bend to the right. So we'll take a few breaths here. Just noticing that space opening up on the left side of the torso. And then inhale back up. And as you exhale, bring your left hand down to the mat. Right arm comes straight up towards the ceiling. Or if you want a little bit more of a side stretch, reach the right arm overhead. Just moving the right foot, right hand away from each other, making that line as long as you can. On your inhale, come back up. Bring your right knee in and stretch your left leg out. Left hand rests on top of the leg. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. And then as you exhale, slowly side bend to the left. Take a few breaths here. Inhale back up. Bring your right hand down to the mat. Reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. And then if you like, you can stretch the left arm overhead. Still maintaining that slow, steady breath. On your inhale, come back up. Bring your left knee in and come back to tabletop. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips to downward dog. So we'll take a few moments here to loosen up. You can just move around in whatever way feels good. Maybe swaying the hips side to side, pedaling out the feet. On an inhale, rise up onto your toes. Then as you exhale, sink your heels down towards the mat. Inhale, up onto the toes, bend your knees, walk to the top of the mat. Come to an easy forward fold with a little bend in the knees. On an inhale, come to a halfway lift, lengthen and flatten the back. Exhale as you forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise up, sweep the arms overhead, come to extended mountain. So still moving a little bit like we're in slow motion. Exhale, soften the knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Move the shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to plank. Lower your knees and the tops of the feet, exhale down to the mat. And inhale to cobra. We're going to take a couple breaths here in cobra pose. So move your shoulders away from your ears. Take a little bend in your elbows and point your elbows behind you. Press down through the tops of the feet, maybe engage the quadriceps muscles on the front of the thighs. Then exhale slowly down to the mat. Press up into tabletop, exhale back to child's pose, just one breath here. And inhale back to tabletop, tuck the toes under and lift the hips to down dog. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Press the palms down into the mat. Lift your hips up and back. You should be looking back towards your knees or your thighs. On your next inhale, rise up onto your toes, bend your knees, step or walk to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to plank. You can lower your knees and the tops of the feet, or you can shift forward and lower down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, making your way back to down dog, either rolling through tabletop or lifting the hips up and back. 1 or 2 breaths here. It's time to focus on lengthening the backs of the legs. So as you lift your hips up and back, sink your heels down towards the mat. On your next inhale, rise up on the toes, bend the knees, step or walk to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to plank. Exhale, full or modified chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale to down dog. One or two deep breaths here. On your next inhale, float the right leg up into three-legged dog. And then as you exhale, step or sweep it through, placing the right foot down between or just behind the hands. Set your back heel down, setting up for warrior one. Inhale, rise up to your warrior one. Taking a couple breaths here. Shift your right hip back and your left hip forward just a little bit to help square off the hips. Keep pressing down through the left foot. You should feel a stretch in your left calf muscle. You might also get a stretch in the front of the left hip. As you exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step your left foot forward and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to extended mountain. And exhale to chair, sinking the hips back. Couple breaths here. As you look down, you should be able to see your toes, and you should be able to pick them up and wiggle them around. As you exhale, lower your hands to the mat, come back to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to plank. Exhale, full or modified chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale to down dog. Deep breath here. On your next inhale, float the left leg up. And then as you exhale, step or sweep the left leg through, plant the left foot between the hands, set up the back foot for warrior one. On your inhale, rise up, sweep the arms overhead. And then squaring off the hips, maybe shifting left hip back, right hip forward just a little. The spine nice and tall. On your next exhale, lower your hands to the mat, step the right foot forward, and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain. Exhale to chair pose. So you can hang out right here in chair pose, or if you like, you can give awkward pose a try. In awkward pose, you pretty much stay where you are, but open into a little more of a back bend. Feel some muscles in the back engage. Exhale, slowly lower your hands to the mat, come into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, step your right foot back, keep the heel up, and then lower the knee and the top of the foot. Bring your hands to your knee, lean into a low lunge. And if you like, inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, slowly lower your hands to the mat. Shift your hips back, tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee, step back to plank. And then you can either take a vinyasa or you could go right to down dog. So if you're taking your vinyasa, you can either lower the knees or shift forward, exhale down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale to down dog. On your inhale, float your right leg up. Step or sweep the right leg through. Plant the foot between the hands, lower the left knee and the top of the left foot. Bring your hands to your knee, lean into your low lunge. You can either stay right here or you can inhale and sweep the arms up. So if you're feeling any compression in the low back, maybe don't do so much of a back bend. And then see if you can actually lift your ribs away from your hips. As you exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Tuck your back toe under, lift your back knee, step forward, and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips, inhale to chair. If you'd like to give awkward pose another try. Exhale, hands to the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, step your left foot back. Lower the left knee at the top of the left foot. You bring your hands to your knee, or you can just sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee, step the right foot back to plank. You can either take a vinyasa or go right to down dog. At least one deep inhale and exhale in your downward dog. And on your next inhale, float the left leg up. Exhale as you step or sweep it through, plant the foot between the hands, lower the right knee and the top of the right foot. Lean into your low lunge. You can bring your hands to your knee, or you can inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the mat. Shift the hips back, tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee, step forward, and forward fold.
Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain. On your exhale, bend your elbows, draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Open the chest, tilt the chin up. Then if you like, bring your arms behind you, interlace your fingers, open the chest a little more. And then start to lower your chin towards your chest, bend your knees, come into a forward fold, keeping the knees bent, letting the torso rest on the thighs, maybe lifting the arms up. Relax the muscles in your neck. Slowly lower your arms, release your hands to the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain. Exhale your arms to your sides. Find your mountain pose. So feet are about hips distance apart, ankles under the hip joints. You might roll your shoulders back a couple times and then let the shoulder blades slide down the back. Open your palms. Press down through the feet. Engage the muscles in your legs. Lift your kneecaps. Pull your belly back towards your spine. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And then from here, start to soften a little bit. You can let your arms float back down to your sides. Still keeping that length in the body. Start to shift your weight into your left foot. Pick up your right and bring it behind you. Take a hold of your right foot. Inhale your left arm up. If you're stable enough, start to hinge forward on your left hip. If you're stable here, press your foot into your hand, see if you can lift your leg a little higher. Still keeping the hips square to the mat. And just feel free to play around with it a little bit. You can come in and out. If you're super comfortable here and you want to bring your hand down to the mat, give that a try. Of course, the trick is getting back up. And then come back into your mountain pose. Find a slow, steady breath again. Lengthen through the center of the body. And when you feel like you're ready, start to shift your weight into your right foot. Pick up your left, take a hold of your left foot, reach your right arm up. Once again, you can either stay right here or you can start to hinge forward. So if you're unstable and you want to play around with this, you can always place your hands on the wall in front of you. If you're stable here, maybe lift the leg a little higher. Slowly come back up. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, come to extended mountain. And then exhale as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, step your right foot back, and set it up for warrior two. So turning the back foot, pointing the toes toward the long edge of the mat. Inhale, rise up, stretch the arms out, open the hips and the chest. Couple breaths here. Slowly straighten your right leg. Shift your hips back, reach forward, and tilt the torso to triangle. So you have some options here. You can rest your left hand on top of the left shin. And if you maintain your alignment, maybe slide the hand down towards your ankle. Another option to help build core strength is to just kind of let the left arm dangle. So my fingertips are just above the mat. Engage a little more through your right leg. And then on your inhale, come up and reverse your triangle. Exhale back to warrior two. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, come to side angle. So once again, you have options. You can rest the left forearm on top of the left thigh. You can just kind of let the left arm hang out there in space. Or you can bring your fingertips down to the mat or a block. If you'd like a bigger side stretch, you can reach your right arm overhead. Really focus on lengthening the whole right side of the body. On your inhale, rise up and reverse your warrior. Exhale to warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Bring your hands to your hips, turn your toes toward the side wall. Sorry, long edge of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, slowly start to forward fold. We're just going to take a little rest here. So let your arms come down to wherever is comfortable for you. If you're noticing any tension in your neck or your shoulders, maybe move the head around a little. On your next inhale, come to a halfway lift. And then bring your heels in and your toes out. So your feet are about 45-degree angles, pointing in opposite directions. Start to bend your right knee. So we're just going to come into kind of a half squat, and it's up to you as to how far down you go. So you might just stay up pretty high, or you can come all, kind of drop your hips toward the mat, point the left toes up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to move back through center. And then start to bend the left knee. Once again, you can either stay up high, or you can start to lower the hips to the mat, toward the mat. Pointing the toes of the right foot up towards the ceiling. And then inhaling back to center again. And then just kind of walk your hands around to the front of your mat and pivot your feet while you're doing that so that you end up in a runner's lunge. You can either stay right here for a breath or two, or you can plant your right palm and inhale your left arm up. Go ahead and lower your left hand to the mat. Step your right foot forward and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees and step your left foot back. Pivot the back foot, set it up for warrior two. And inhale as you rise up. Opening the hips, opening the chest, reaching the arms out strongly in both directions. And as you look out over your right hand, take a peek down, make sure you can see the big toe of your front foot. If you can't, that might mean that you need to open your right hip a little more. And that might help get the knee out of the way. Distribute your weight evenly between the front foot and the back foot. And then start to straighten your right leg. Shift your hips back, reach forward, tilt the torso to triangle. And just come into whatever variation you took on the other side. If you can maintain your slow, steady breath, means you're probably right where you need to be. On your inhale, rise up, reverse your triangle. And then exhale to warrior two. Take a deep inhale. And exhale to side angle, whatever variation you took on the other side. So if you can't maintain your slow, steady breath, probably means you've pushed yourself a little beyond your limits. If you're maintaining your slow, steady breath, but your mind is wandering, probably means that you haven't pushed yourself enough. So try to find that sweet spot. On your inhale, rise up, reverse warrior. Exhale to warrior two, straighten the right leg, bring your hands to your hips, pivot the right foot, so now the feet are parallel with each other. Inhale as you lengthen your spine, and exhale as you slowly forward fold. So we'll take a few breaths here. Let your shoulders relax, let your neck relax. Take a couple deep breaths. On your next inhale, come to a halfway lift. And I'll give you a couple options for a twist. You can keep your right hand down on the mat and reach your left arm up. This is going to be the simplest twist in this position. If you want a little bit more, you can pick up your right hand and reach back for your right ankle or calf. If you want even more of a stretch on the back of the left leg, you can bring your left hand to your left calf and draw your torso closer to your left leg. Whatever variation you're in, very slowly start to make your way back into that halfway lift, both palms on the mat. And then when you're ready, you can inhale your right arm up. Once again, either stay right here or bring your left hand to your left ankle or shin or calf. And then if you want, you can bring your right hand to your right calf muscle and just gently draw your torso towards your right leg. Start to release, make your way back into your halfway lift. And then softening the knees a little, walk your hands around to the front of your mat and make your way into a runner's lunge. Lengthen all along the back of the body here. Maybe kind of reach your left heel behind you, making sure that you find a stretch in the left hip flexor. And then if you like, you can plant your left palm and inhale your right arm up. As you exhale, bring your right hand to the mat, step your left foot forward, and forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower your knees and the tops of the feet to the mat. Exhale all the way down. And then come into Sphinx pose. Planting the forearms and the palms out in front of you. The elbows might be directly under the shoulders or a little forward of the shoulders. Start to move your shoulders away from each other, almost as if you could roll them back and down. If you're noticing any compression in your low back, you might take your feet out a little bit wider. So if you don't have any issues with your neck and it feels good to you, you might tilt your chin up a little. If your chin is tilted up, bring your head back to a neutral position. Take your hands out wider. And if it's all right with your back, press up into seal pose. Maybe opening the feet a little bit wider. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can come back into Sphinx pose. Or you can take your arms out from under you and just rest with your chest on the mat. From seal pose, very slowly lower your elbows to the mat. And then bring your hands together, one on top of the other. And then just rest your forehead on your top hand. Take a couple breaths here. If you like, you can bend your knees and very slowly windshield wiper your legs side to side. So if your knees are bent, go ahead and straighten the legs again. Bring your palms under your shoulders, press up into tabletop. Pause here in your tabletop. Maybe move the hips side to side, or you can make circles with the hips. Make sure you circle the hips in both directions. And then coming back into tabletop, get your feet out from under you and take a seat on the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop open. You can slide your hands under your feet. Start to lengthen up through your spine. So notice your sit bones making contact with the mat. Move your shoulders away from your ears. So we're creating some traction in the back
by engaging the muscles that run along either side of the spine. Maintaining as much of that engagement as you can. Start to hinge forward from the hips. So we're still keeping the spine straight. We're just leaning forward from the hips. Maybe the elbows come out to the sides. So you should be able to feel some traction in the low back here. And then if you like, you can take your hands out from under your feet, place them out in front of you, walk or slide them out away. When they come out about as far as they can, on an exhale, start to relax your neck and shoulders. Maybe let the spine round a little bit. Take a few breaths here. A couple more breaths if you can. And then very slowly start to lift your head and chest. Walk your hands back towards your feet. And then you can use your hands to bring your knees together. And then very slowly lie back onto your mat. So you might just want to take a moment in constructive rest pose with the feet out at the edges of the mat and the knees together. You can stay here longer if you like, or you can start to stretch out the arms and legs into Shavasana. In your final resting pose, start to focus on your exhales. Allow the exhales to become longer and longer. Maybe imagine each exhale as a wave of relaxation, washing away any tension in the body. you continue to release tension, make sure that you've softened the muscles in your face and in your jaw. Start to bring your awareness to your inhales. With each inhale, notice more energy coming into the body. As that calm, clear energy continues to build, if you like, you can very slowly start to move your fingers and toes. And when you feel like you're ready, you can take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, roll to your right side. Slowly make your way up into a seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. Take your gaze down to your fingertips and close your eyes. And start to notice both steadiness and ease in the body. If you like, you can think of it as strength and suppleness or flexibility. Notice the effects of the practice on your body. Go ahead and take one more deep inhale. And a long, slow exhale. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend. Namaste.
Hi, Angela.